Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello my tinglings, and welcome to our part 2 on the International Phonetic Alphabet. So last time I went through all the consonants in the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, which is the system that linguists use for writing out things in phonetics. Today I'm going to be going through vowels. Now, just before we get in that, and before you hopefully go off to a beautiful and nice slumber, just remind you that for this month, for my viewers' appreciation, I'll be randomly selecting from my lovely tinglings who comment on any of my videos through the month. And then I will be writing out your screen name using the International Phonetic Alphabet. So that'll kind of be part 3 of this little series for you to kind of see it in action. It's the easiest way to get a feel for kind of how it all works and that sort of thing. So again, before you head off to sleep or have to, do something else, just be sure to comment on this video so you definitely have a chance to get your own name written out by me. So, when we were talking about consonants, it's much more exact. So you'll remember we have terms such as bilabial. That means 2 lips together. Well, it's pretty exact where our 2 lips are. If you have a labiodental, then, you could kind of have a labiodental that would potentially be, but because of our anatomy, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So it's generally the top teeth coming down onto the bottom lip, like that. Such as an F, and so on. But with vowels, it gets to be a little bit more like our approximates. It's a kind of estimate of where the tongue is. You can kind of see this, if this is, a lot of times actually you can see them, if you see it like in a phonetics textbook, you'll see it and they might draw the lips like that, because it's kind of like your tongue. So your face would be this way, so your tongue being the closest to your mouth are these ones. So that's what front is, and then we have central, which is kind of down the middle of your mouth, and then towards the back is your back vowels. But again, they are not exact, and that's why generally if you're looking for a different accent in the same language, generally the consonants will be similar for the most part. You do see, for example, between British and American English, with your fricatives, you have a little bit of difference there. But your major differences really come in with your vowels. Now, I will preface this by saying I am no expert on the phonetics of, well, I'm not really an expert at all. I have taken a college-level phonetics course, but that's basically what I've done. So, and I am a Native American speaker, so I understand intuitively American vowel sounds the best. I've lived in Australia for 7 years, so I have some understanding there, but I also do not. Australian vowels can actually be really difficult. But anyway, so for these, I may not even try to tell you what they sound like, because if I do not have them, I won't really be able to tell you what they sound like very reliably at all. So, sorry. But that's kind of, so I'll let you know, particularly with American English, what words you can kind of use as a trigger word for getting you to get into the vowel sound. So we may as well start just right here at the very top. So the format of this chart is set up so that on the left is a more kind of relaxed mouth, and then on the right is a rounded mouth. So when we make an O sound, you can see it's just very simple. It's that your mouth goes in to an O shape. So, O. And that's, I think, part of the reason we draw it that way is just because our mouth looks like that. So the first one we have here is a lowercase I. But this symbol you actually pronounce as E. E. And it's a subtle distinction, but you may notice when I'm saying that I'm not saying E, which is how I would normally say an E sound. So, but just so for the letter E in English, if you're saying anything that sounds like the letter E, then you would use this symbol, but it's actually what is called a diphthong. And it's a little bit weird because it's a diphthong with itself, so I'll give you an example that's not that. So if we start at the kind of next one down below, we have an E sound. In English, we don't really have an E on its own, not like E, which is as in bed. This is a little bit high. Your tongue's a little bit higher up than an E, as in bed. It's E. And we usually, when we use this sound, which is a lowercase e, we'll make it an A. So it's A, A. So if you were saying he bade him to stay, or the crowd bayed for a free kick. That's an Australian thing. But anyway. So A. And what it is you can hear it's actually two different sounds. Two vowel sounds. And that's what a diphthong is two, I think it might be or more. Can you have a triple diphthong? I think the die is for diphthong. Anyway, I think it's just two. But, so, you can hear the and then you'll hear that E sound. E. A. A. So, it's A. And it's because you have that kind of change in your tongue. A. A. You can kind of feel it in your mouth. You can actually probably see it on my face. A. Kind of raising up here to get everything in the right position. So, A. But so, E, when we say that in American English, is a diphthong, but with itself, so it's E, 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 E. So it's a little bit funny, but it is actually distinct, because in, for example, Spanish and Italian, they have a bit more pure vowel sounds, where they'll just have a single sound rather than a diphthong for those sounds. So it is distinct. So when you're looking at the fine intricacies that we do, such as that linguists do, then these things kind of matter. So we have E, and then basically to make this little Y symbol, I don't have this letter, but because I have E, it's basically you just want to make the same sound, but around your lips. So E, 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 E. And you can hear it sound E, E. It sounds different. But I'm not 100% sure that I'm making that exactly right, but that's what I would assume it kind of sounds like. So before we actually officially get on to our A sound, we have this, which is basically not quite in the front. And that is, and you can see it here, it's a little lowercase I symbol, but it's actually, the height of it would be the same as a lowercase letter. And so it's a small capital I. And the sound that that makes is I. So as in bit. When you say bit, that's I. And then we have a corresponding round as well, which is this capital Y, but again, a small size. And that would be I, which whenever I start to get into the rounded side, it sounds a lot more French to me, but I have no idea which are actually French vowels and which aren't, so sorry. And then we get to our close mid. So these top ones are called close. Then we have close mid, open. And you'll kind of see it's just more to do with how open your mouth is. So close means pretty close, and then you'll kind of feel, if you say these vowels in a row, that your mouth kind of opens. So E, I, ah. So, but we'll continue through. So our next one is our sound, as in a. I have a hard time getting it because I am only used to doing it with the diphthong, so it's hard for me to separate the pure sound out. So I think like that should be so would be our rounded. Then this is as in bed. Then that sounds very French to me. Then this little symbol, which I'll kind of draw. It looks like a capital A, but connected to an E. You see that there. That's our sound. So if you are talking about an apple, then that's your Or sticking with our bade, bit sort of theme, then bat or bad. Use that sound. And then this is kind of an sound, but it's not a sound that I actually use. I'm not sure if it's actually used in British English or not, because our is actually this our sound is actually this back one. That's our sound, and you can actually kind of feel it that it's So this, I think, would probably be more like I don't know. I can't really get it. I have a hard time feeling that space out because I don't actually use any letters, any sounds in that in American English. So both of those are going to be hard for me to do. And then we're going to hit a real issue through here. In the central section, there is not a lot that I am actually know or have any knowledge of. And that's because American English is very reductive down to this sound right here in the middle. It is probably the most common sound that you would hear in American English, even so much as when you are searching for a word, you'll probably make it. It's the sound. So lots of vowels, even in like if there's a new word created, then eventually, if it's like a two-syllable word, then often you'll find the secondary syllable will perhaps reduce to a schwa, depending on what it is. So we'll probably see that in play a bit more on Viewers Appreciation when we actually start writing some things out. You'll get to see my very American pronunciations with a lot of schwa. So, the schwa is the one I do have. That's an sound. It's just right there in the middle, just your tongue hanging out there. And that's where mine is. I'm trying to think. See, I'm trying to think if a southern accent, a Texas accent, where their vowels actually differ. But I think that's probably a video for another day. I think just learning our symbols right now is a good start for the ones I do know. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of take the same, like you can kind of guess at them. So we have E, and we can feel that at the front, so we'd want to move to the back, so we move to the center, so E, but I have, no real clue what I'm doing there, so I'm not gonna really try anymore there. Going with the back, we have a few. We actually have one at every level, so that's helpful. Our top one is an oo sound. So that's the rounded sound, oo. You'll actually notice that your mouth does form into that circle when you make an oo sound. So that is the rounded side. So the non-rounded side would be oo, 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 something like that. I don't know for sure. This one here is interesting. I'm going to come back to that one in a second. I'm going to do our O sound. Now again, American English, lot of diphthongs. Love our diphthongs, don't like pure vowels. So our O sound is not actually a pure O. It starts out with a pure O, but you hear that kind of O, O, O. Well, you can actually hear that kind of up and back. We're getting O, 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 O. So that sound is that one. So our O sound is just a O, O, O. And that's a lot of the reason, probably, if you've ever tried learning a Romance language or anything like that from English, you can get a bit of an accent because you want to diphthongize all your vowel sounds. So part of learning how to speak another language is to kind of separate those sounds in your mind. So the O sound, the unrounded version would be O, 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 O. Probably something like that. I don't know. This one here, this symbol here is frequent, particularly in, well, like my stepdad He's born and raised in New York, has a bit of a New Yorkers accent. That was horrible. Forget I just did that. And, but the biggest one for me for that symbol is court. So that or. I don't really use that sound at all in anything that I naturally say, but it is something in American English, so I am aware of it. So that's court. God, I'm trying to think if we have something like that. And then court, because I feel like we do use that symbol. Yeah, that's our, well, that's an sound, but, rather than, it's just a little for, it's not the schwa sound. You'll find out what the schwa is more like, when we actually go through, but that's more like an, sound, but different than the schwa. So those are we do use both of those. And then we have our as in bought. Well, how I say bought. I bought a pancake. I don't say bought. I say bought. I bought a pancake. So we have bought and then bought. I don't know. I don't have a rounded version of that. So I am not an expert on that. But that should hopefully give you a little bit of idea of how that works. I'll just show you real quick here. So here, this is a phonetician. So F for our faux, O with our O, phone, na. You can hear that. That's where our schwa is. Phone, t. Have our I. Our sh sound. Our schwa again. Shun. Then our velar dental. N. Phonetician. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about the phonetic alphabet, and I'm looking forward to writing your name. So be sure, if you are still awake, to write down below. Just say hello, or if you have a word request that you want me to do when I'm writing out in phonetics, then let me know. And thank you again for joining me. It's always lovely to see you. Goodbye. If you're still awake, thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button down below so that you can be the first to see tomorrow's ASMR video. I do a daily ASMR video just for you. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked this video so that you can come back and watch it again and again and again. And be sure to comment down below for your chance to be featured in my monthly viewers appreciation video on the 25th. You can comment about this video, or you could comment about a problem you're having in your life. I just want to hear from you. I do reply to all genuine comments, so I look forward to chatting with you down in the comments.